Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I didn't have the audio on. I got it on. We're all good. I turn it off at the end of the morning show because me and Bell chat while we're doing our outro graphics. So sometimes I forget to turn on. We got a problem out here, guys. Cosmos has a big problem, and it seems to be the elephant in the room. That's the funny thing. I don't understand how it ever got to this, to the fact that you can't even discuss it without just getting dogpiled on. And I'm sure I will on this video. I'm fine with it, by the way. You guys go ahead, and let me have it. Uh, but we do have a problem, and it's kind of funny because people are just really now starting to pick up on the fact that uh, this ecosystem is simply tied to Atom and Osmo, and I mean that's it. That's it. And until those two tokens move, I don't think Atom's ever really gonna. We're gonna hit our all-time high. That's not going to happen, man. There's too many. There's too many hands in the cookie jar. That's again another one of the unmentionables. But there's just it's a slush fund now. It's piggy bank for conferences and validators and all that stuff. So as far as yeah, Adam's going to hit the $40 mark again. That's not going to happen. It occurred and it's not really going to occur again. But uh, Osmo was the one that is the one right now that's kind of torpedoing everything, and it goes. I mean, Adam and Osmo, they kind of go together, but Osmo's more or less the one that's torpedoing everything. And I always get it. Well, you just got to zoom out, man. You got to zoom out. So I zoomed out, and it's really interesting is the last 3 months. That's what's been interesting because up to there we had a real nice run up. You know, we got some recovery. A lot of tokens came up, killed it on Jackal, killed it on Fetch, killed it on Akash, killed it on Kajira. I had a wonderful run up on all of these things, but you know they're bleeding out, and so I zoomed out. That's what you do. That's what you told me to do, so I did. Uh, Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin over the last 3 months. That's it. So we're looking at 1 day chart. We're looking at from February ish to today. That's what the Bitcoin chart looks like. Now, why is this really relevant? Because this is osmosis over the last 3 months. Now, we used to have kind of a nifty little feature where as Bitcoin accelerated, most everything accelerated with it. But with the introduction of the ETFs, by the way, you got what you wanted. We wanted sovereign money, so you invited in Wall Street, and now you get what you get. So it was never about we're going to change their minds, change the world, and sovereign money. It was never about that. It was all about pump my bags so that I can clear out, and it did. Obviously, we you got the pump, and people are just stepping away from it now. But I don't know. Maybe that'll settle. But again, this is tremendously concerning for me. And it's going to continue to be tremendously concerning because these are more or less controlled coins. Your average retail Cosmos investor is not going to move that number. All right. We don't have the volume. You don't have $25 million that's just sitting there that you're willing to toss into Osmo to make it move. And with the 24-hour trading volume, I don't have $16 million sitting there handy to go ahead and pump this up. I'm not sure that a whole lot of people out here do. So we're kind of stuck with the whims of the market. And as Bitcoin continues to go up and, even settle down a little bit, but you guys know what I mean. Zoom out, Bitcoin clearly accelerated. But at the same time, Osmo just absolutely bled off. I mean, we cut our high right there. That was the recent high, buck 80, and that was because Grayscale was talking about. I think it was. I don't remember if it was BlackRock. One of them. We're talking about adding it to an alt kind of ETF thing, and it spiked the hell out of it. And since then, obviously, we've got nothing, but it's taken out everything with it, and that's what gets me a little bit concerned. Not all of them. There are some outliers in here. Akash is an excellent outlier over the last 3 months. Yeah, it's an excellent outlier. Now this spike right there, let's not get nuts, guys. Nobody called that one. It was a sentiment pump, and it clearly settled right back down to about where it's supposed to be. But from March to April, It's doing the same thing. It was doing the same thing that everything else was doing. It was doing it because Osmo's doing it. So again, elephant in the room. This is a problem because all of these sovereign L1s out here are not sovereign. They are all tied to a single token, which is tied to a big ecosystem token, which has got tons and tons, which is a cookie jar with lots and lots of hands in it. So that is simply pointing out the problem. Now, what's the solution? You know what the solution is, but nobody's going to do it. The solution is you got to buy Atom. The solution is you got to buy Osmo. That you're going to have to put portions of your DCAs are going to have to be into these two tokens and try to support them, try to get them up. The problem is that as soon as you put it in, it's coming out the other side because there's another conference coming up, because there's tons of VC validators that are on these things that are set at 100% commission that are farming you day after day after day, 24/7, 365. This show never closes, and they are farming you constantly. So you're going to have to assume a little bit of operating cost when you buy these two, when you touch either of these two tokens. And these validator expenses are in fact operating costs. So we always come back to the other side. Well, where do they gain value? I'll put it out to anybody here that might happen to watch this video or watch it on Twitter. Where does Atom get its value? Where does it acquire? Who is paying an Atom to use a product out here? And don't say gas and governance. For God's sakes, Wawa is gas and governance. So if you're gonna couple Atom and Wawa, there's really nothing I can help you with. But these are in fact operating expenses that we simply don't account for. Where is this coming from? Now I could have the same go at Osmo, but I'll let Eric do that next time we have it on here because it's still a matter of value capture. They shut off everything that they possibly could. They shut off the spigots. We are not incentivizing pools. They've done all of those things. And while they are doing all of those things, which was nice. It got that token to spike. They made the right moves, but why they were doing all of that, reality is starting to set in, and this is where we have now. So it's clear that operating expenses are still wildly exceeding token income. They are spending more than they're making. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell someone how to. I didn't build it, but I'm stuck with it. The same way that I am stuck with the whims of Bitcoin. But there are too many expenses out here, and there is simply not enough income. You have bled everybody. It's everybody, people running out of money. But that ship right there doesn't stop. Those checks still got to go out 24/7, 365. So if you want to take into account what's it going to take to move everything out here, you're going to have to take into account of Osmo, and you're going to have to take into account Atom. It's why I love the influencers. So influencers. That's why I love the influencers over on crypto Twitter so much, particularly in regards to the Cosmos, because they do point out projects, and they do point out different things and good time to buy, never going to be this low again, but they never explain why it got this low in the first place. It got this low in the first place because it's either worthless tech, it's a science fair project, or it's completely stuck with Osmo. And if it's an L1, guess what? That L1 is also pushing out money day after day after day, paying a big validator set. So you're stuck with this one, and you're stuck with your own one. And it comes back to simple: how much revenue is it earning? Because if the answer is zero, then you are screwed. It's just a matter of time, and time is not on your side out here. It absolutely is not. So please consider this. That's all I'm saying. I know this will be a hot video. I know this will be fun. I'll get lots of good comments on this that I'm old, I'm stupid, and I just don't understand. But you see, I do understand. I'm just trying to help you understand. That's all we got, guys. Questions or comments, Scott at thepodcast.com. I answer any and all. And until next time, please stay safe, man, and please be smart with your money. Cheers.